So you're going to Rome and you're looking for something to do. The Spritz and Spaghetti class, I promise you, is not going to disappoint at all. I went in a little skeptical, I'm not gonna lie, but by the end, it was one of the highlights of our trip. I'm gonna take you through literally from start to finish, walking into the classroom to everything we do as we make each dish, what dishes we're making, and maybe more importantly for some, what drinks we will be drinking. Like I said, I was a little skeptical taking this class. I mean, we're in Rome. Do I really want to waste a meal in Rome on some cooking class? Yes, you do. You really do. Trust me. So you walk into the classroom. It is the Spritz and Spaghetti class from Rome with Chef. And I've got links down in the description for you to book it with Get Your Guide and also Viator. But you walk in this cool classroom where each of us get our workstation where we're each going to participate and make pasta. But before we get started, and how all cooking classes should start, drink number one is the Aperol Spritz, the classic, the quintessential Italian drink, the Aperol Spritz. And they teach you exactly the proportions on how to make it so you can make a perfect Aperol Spritz here in the class. But when you come back home and you're dreaming of Rome and missing Italy, you'll at least be able to taste it from your couch. So once we get our first Spritz, we head into the classroom to get started. And I'm the chef of our household, which is not saying a lot at all. So going into this class, I wasn't sure how I was going to do, because I've never made anything from scratch, really. Just kind of if you give me a recipe, I can do it. But making pasta from scratch. So it was really fun to learn and go through the process, starting with the flour and the egg and getting that mixed together and kneading it out, rolling it out, all of that stuff. It's really cool and fun to learn. What's also fun about this class is every time somebody says the word pasta, the instructor or one of your fellow classmates, you got to take a drink. So the spritzes are flowing, you're working up a sweat trying to knead the pasta dough, or do you call it dough? The pasta as you attempt to make your fresh pasta right there in the classroom. And it's so much fun just interacting with everybody as the instructor is kind of telling us a history about Italy and pasta and the pasta making process, and just learning everything you can so you can actually take this stuff home if you so desire to make your own pasta when you get back to wherever you're from. But once you get through everything, she teaches you how to cut this shape of pasta that we're doing today, and then voila, right there, hanging down from the knife, you've got your fresh made pasta and everyone's got it, and that's literally what we're going to be eating today in the class. But first, time for Spritz number 2. This is the Campari Spritz. If you've actually never had Campari, it's much more bitter than Aperol, but you might enjoy it. And you actually get a pro tip from the chef to, I think, put a little Sprite into the Aperol or the Campari Spritz if you're not really much of a bitter fan. But this was actually, I think, my favorite Spritz of the day, which led me to drinking tons of Negronis on the trip. So once you get your Campari Spritz, we go back to the classroom and we continue on with making the dishes. And we're making 2 different dishes today, a Cacio, a Pepe, and a Carbonara. Now we're making these in big batches, so you see us pouring all the cheese and salt and pepper, pasta water into the bowls and mixing everything, and I was kind of doing most of the work. I don't know how I got pulled into doing most of it, but you can pass it around, take turns, and you can do it all yourself if you want to, or if your classmates aren't into getting the work in. I think everyone was kind of busy enjoying the spritzes and drinking every time someone said pasta, that they just were okay with me doing most of it. Now, obviously, I'm talking over these videos, so you can't hear anything, but the chef, she's walking you through absolutely everything step by step on what to do, how you're making it, why you're making it this way, things that are common misconceptions with Italian cooking and making pasta, and all of that good stuff. But this is where things are about to get interesting and much more tasty, because we're about to eat one of these. Now, you can only choose one dish. Cacio, a Pepe with a Carbonara, but the little hack here is just hopefully you don't come by yourself and you could bring family member, significant other, whoever it may be, and one of you gets one and one of you gets the other, and that way you can kind of taste each of them. That's what me and my wife did. I got the Carbonara, she got the Cacio, a Pepe. We both liked them, but when we tried the other ones, we had to swap because the Cacio, a Pepe was to die for, and she loved the Carbonara, so ended up working out perfectly. But when I tell you these dishes were phenomenal, I'm telling you, these dishes were phenomenal. I didn't think about it being really a homemade meal and me thinking that maybe we should skip this class because I don't want to waste a meal in Rome on this class. And I was so wrong. I mean, look at these dishes. These taste 10 times better than they look. I promise you that. And also, I didn't show us making it, but as you can see next to the dishes, we have our third and final Spritz, which is a limoncello Spritz. And if you've never had that, it's light and refreshing, got a nice lemon flavor, which goes perfect with the heavier pastas that we're trying today. Now, the food was great, but I'm telling you, eating these dishes was my favorite part. One, because yes, they were good, but two, because of the company. We're sitting around this table and we're just interacting with everyone else that's in the class. There was a couple from Wales, there was a couple from England, there was 3 girls from France, our chef was actually from Denmark, and there was another girl who was from Germany, and us being from Texas. Well, we were all just laughing and having a good time and talking about our cultural differences and how we do things in the States versus how things are done in Europe. Just random conversation and laughing, and we really had so much fun meeting these new people literally from around the world. Nobody in that room was from Rome or Italy, and we're just sharing a meal and having a great time. And it was so much fun that the chef actually told us that the same company that runs this, they actually do a drink tour, and she was going to be going on that later that evening. So all of us kind of looked at each other and decided that, hey, we're in, let's go. So almost every single person in that classroom also went to this drinking tour around the neighborhood of Monty. And we had so much fun that we literally carried the party into the night and hung out with them even more. I think some of us followed each other on Instagram, and we met some more cool people on that. So if you want to see a video like this on that drink tour, comment down below and let me know, and I can put that out, because that was also just a lot of fun, meeting some cool people and drinking true old-fashioned Roman drinks. Well, to wrap up the class, I'm not going to show the fourth and final secret drink that is actually not listed here, because I let that be a surprise for when you actually go and take this class, which you should do. Links are in the description to go book this class. I highly recommend taking this and just dive into it. Even if you don't like cooking, just go enjoy the experience. You get to enjoy the food. If you really butcher the pasta making process, you will have help along the way. But just dive in and introduce yourself to the other people in the room, which are hopefully from around the world, and you meet some really cool people like we did, because we had a lot of fun. But I appreciate you being here and watching the video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe, and I can give you a full Rome itinerary everything we did on our trip there. We also went to Florence and Lake Como. If you want to see videos about the things that we did there, just let me know down in the comments. And later this year, I'll be going to Germany, Austria, Poland, Spain, Las Vegas, and some other places too. So make sure to subscribe to follow along with our next adventures that will be going on. And let me know if you have any other video ideas or comment suggestions down in the comments, and I will see you next time.